What's up? So, welcome back to whatever the frick this is. Happy New Year. It's New Year's Day. I thought I'd make a video for New Year's Day. I'm always thinking about videos that, shows that I can make and kind of rehash some of my old stories, but I actually have to save those now. I can't really use them and talk about it because there's a plan for those. So, anyways, they don't involve me releasing them or even taking my old shows that were poor production values and letting them releasing them on here again. There's a plan. So, but I've been thinking about this though, man. I don't follow a lot of YouTube channels. Most of the YouTube channels I watch are the only ones I really watch are like Tucker Carlson, Black Conservative Perspective. I think he's great. Officer Tatum is another really good one. And then a couple of random ones like Salty Cracker or something, I'll catch it. Or my friend Josh from 23andOne, good dude. I just got a message from him the other day. Anyways, I don't really watch much YouTube, but one of the things I've come to enjoy in the last, month or so is these reaction videos. Like reaction videos to like there's some kid just smashing on chicks who are like well, it's always some kid, some young guy. Could be. This is like multiple dudes who do it, but they're like doing little clips of like girls talking trash and guys simping and that. And I just keep thinking to myself, like the women are so abusive these days towards men, like these feminists, and they're like, and they can wrap a man around their finger, man. And I've watched them do it, and I have friends that have done it, and I'm just like, I gotta do a video that implores to you as a young man or man, it doesn't matter how old you are. This happened. I have a friend or ex-friend, I don't talk to him anymore, who was just an absolute simp. The guy was just obsessed with this crack whore, just a filthy, disgusting crack whore. He's literally pulled her off the cock of the dope man, pulled her head off, and said, "Come on, come home with me." These two freaking black crack dealers in the hood, you can put it together. I mean, and he just, she's a good girl, she's changed, she loves me, the bitch used him for like 4 years. I stopped being friends with him because of that. I stopped being friends with him because I said to myself, I've never been friends with a simp in my life. I've always told myself, if one of my friends become like a sucker, a simp like that, I gotta say goodbye. It's just not in me. I don't have it in me to tolerate weakness on that level. So I said, hey, have a nice life, man. Blocked him, whatever. Of course, he got all mad and talked a bunch of shit, made up some lies and whatever. I don't really care about none of it. The guy's a freaking train wreck and a lunatic, freaking meth head. But I tried hard to help him and guide him and be a Christian steward and kind of be the best of me. But I've had friends all my life that do that, and I've tried to help them. But what I found is, and this is crazy, so I'm going to tell you a couple stories. And obviously, it's one of them, Sammy the Bull, you're the hero, get all the girls, you win the prize kind of stories. But it's true. And there's a reason why in my lifetime, I've had two amazing women in my life. The first one was my ex, Ramona. I was with her for 20 years, or 13 in the street, and she stuck around while I was in prison, 6, 7 more. And I got away with murder with her because I wasn't a simp. So I'll go back to that. My best friend, Jay, was a player, and he got all the girls. So I kind of watched from learning him how not to freaking behave, with the girls, right? Like, don't simp on them. Don't show them, obsess over them. Don't let them rule you. Don't let them pull you around by your dick and lord sex over you. Don't do that. In fact, do the opposite. You bang that woman, that young girl, if it's your girlfriend, to the point where she is under your control. And I know that sounds chauvinist and horrible, but I'm just telling you, it can be done. And I was a douchebag boyfriend, so I'm not condoning my behavior of cheating on my ex all the time, which was all the time. I'm not proud to say, but I probably cheated on her 100 times over the 13 years I was in it. The only thing I can say in my defense is, I could have cheated a lot more, like probably 5 times more, and with a lot of freaking really good looking girls. I mean, I was a bouncer at a nightclub. I had money. I never let anyone know money. That's one of the things I'm going to tell you. Never let them know you have money. In fact, pretend you're broke. And then, I know how many idiot losers I've had, like including that simp I was telling you about. I said, when I just tell them I'm broke, he was like, oh, you can't get any girls like that then. No, you'll never get a girl. I'm like, dude, you can't get any girl like that. I could, and I did all the time. Dimes, hot dime piece chicks, hot ones. You know why? Because I told them I was a broke college student. Didn't have any money. Was broke. So, I don't even have money to buy you a drink. Now, I'm in the club drinking a freaking ice water because I don't like to drink because I might get in a fight. And I can't even buy the girl a drink. I said, I'd buy you a drink, but I don't have any money. She says, I'm in college and broke. You know what I'm saying? I don't have the money. I'm trying to go to school, whatever. That's cool, whatever. Give me your number. Well, can I call you? Sure. Now I know she likes me for me. She doesn't care about money. So I might call a girl a couple times, get on the phone, be funny, charming, witty, kind of feel her out, what she likes and doesn't like, become the guy she wants me to be a little bit, which is scummy, I know. And then one day say, you want to go up to the mall and get lunch? I'd take you to a nice place, but I don't have the money, but I could afford a freaking, some Long John Silver's at the freaking food court in the mall. And I said, we can do some window shopping, just walk around the mall. And then she's like, she just wants to hang out. She just wants to hang out with me because I'm funny or whatever. So she'd be like, yeah. I'm like, I don't even have a car. I'd lie. I don't have a car. Pick me up. Now, the reason I'd lie about that is because I don't like driving. And also, I usually had warrants and a suspended license and my tags were bad my tags were bad because I had a suspended license. So I couldn't get new tags and insurance. So my car was dirty and burned. So I didn't like driving. So I'd like, can you pick me up? I don't have a car. And I'd park my car in the street. She didn't know it was my car or not my car. I'd say, I don't have a car. They'd be happily pick me up. They would drive to my house, pick me up, take me to the mall. And the whole way I'm being funny and charming and witty and trying to, make them laugh, but not liking them too much. Not acting like I'm in love with them. Not all like, oh my God, you're so beautiful. Oh my God, I would do anything for you. I would take you all over the world. I'll do anything. I'd rub my dick through glass just to be in you, touch you. That's how these simps are, right? That's all this dude was, my old friend. Just an absolute sap-sucking simp, man. And it was cringing when I'd hear him talk. Because he was such a phony. He'd get her on the phone and go, hey, baby, how you doing, baby? Oh, yeah, you're beautiful, huh? I'd be like, oh, my God. She's on the other line going, this mother effer, I'm getting every dollar I can. And she did. But, so I might go to the mall. We'd have a freaking $20, lunch, if that, $12. And then I just walked to the mall. I did this all the freaking time. My boys thought it was funny, man. I'm not saying I'm the biggest pimp in the world. I'm just saying this is what I did. I don't know what other guys. I had friends that were way more pimpier than me, who were just mashing, dime after dime after dime. My issue was I had to make girls fall in love with me in order to consummate the relationship, and which is the wrong way to do. A couple of my boys are just like, hey, listen, I don't want a relationship. I got a girlfriend. I'm gonna smash that ass. We have a little fun. We're good, right? The girls are like, yeah, cool, boom, 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 and they're out. Not me. I'd make the chick fall in love. Now after we do it, now she's in love with me and she's stalking me and calling me. Of course, she'd end up showing up with my girlfriend and it'd always be busted. And anyways, you're walking through the mall with this chick, and I was thinking about the first time I did it. Dude, I did this a bunch of freaking times, man. I'm gonna tell you about another story in a minute. But walk through the mall. I see the first time I ever did it. We walked by like Foot Locker or something, right? And there's some brand new Jordans or some shoes out that I liked. I think they were Feelers. I'm like, damn, man, when I get some money, man, I'm gonna get them shoes. Them shoes are dope. I need them in my life. And the girl goes, what? You want them shoes? I'm like, yeah, I love to get shoes. I just don't have the money. She says, come on, I got money and I got a credit card. She said, come on, I'll buy you them shoes. I was like, first time I've ever hung out with the chick. Walks in there, buys me a $65 pair of kicks. I put them on. Thank you. I'll get you back at some point. And then, how did I reward her for that? I'll let you use your imagination. But if you're a man, you can imagine. So you rewarded her with something that was very good for her. And she goes, buy him some shoes and I get this. And so that's how it worked. I went another time, same thing, got a different girl. Her name was Kelly, and I remember her name. And I walked through the mall, and I walked through Eastland Mall past the Van Dykes, where they sold these badass leather coats, kind of like the leather coats that we sell, like these leather coats. And And I same thing. I was like, oh man, the freaking Pellies are on sale. You know, the Pelly Pell jackets were about $600. And one was on sale for like 400. I'm like, damn, I'm gonna get that coat one day, man. I'm gonna get that coat. And the girl's like, what? 400? She was rich. She was a rich girl. She's like, $400? I'll buy that coat. I'll buy that coat right now. I'm like, what? You don't have to. I'll buy it for you right now. I'm like, oh, okay. Laces me out with a $400 Pelly Pell Man Alive jacket, man. Puts it on there. Now, the reward for her was the same as the last girl. I don't sit there and bag her and call her and simp and love her and, oh, I love you. But that's how, like I said, if you pretend that you're broke, you can establish whether the girl likes you or not. And again, my goofy ass, simpy ass friend, when I told him, dude, I told girls that I was broke, it didn't even click in his simpy ass brain. That's impossible. How could you get a girl if you tell him you're broke? Because all his life, he's been throwing money at girls. Throwing money. I'll buy you clothes, shoes, rent, cars, anything. And the girl knows it. And you know what happens? When she gives him the poo nanny, he buys her more stuff. Oh, yeah. So now she starts pimping the pussy out to him. She's like, oh, yeah. Every time I give him a little, he buys me a bunch. And they work them, and they work them, and they work them. And this is not something that happens just with young men. It happens with old men, too. Older men that get simped on. I mean, they get simped. That's what it's called. It's simping, man. These girls are simping these young guys and older guys, man. Don't do that. I hate to see that. It's painful for me to watch, you know what I'm saying, to see guys doing that. Like, I have a friend, I'm not going to say his name, but he's a good friend, and this goes back to my high school years, right? He might watch this, and if you know who you are, if you watch it, you know, love you, bro. But this is the issue with you. So he calls me periodically when he's drunk, because he's not alcoholic anymore. He quit drinking. God bless him. He quit drinking. I finally talked to him, and I'm like, you know, I just don't like talking to you when you're drunk. He's like, I quit drinking, you know, a year ago or whatever it was. So we're cool now. But he would call me out of the blue. I know everybody's got those friends, right? Even my dad. My dad's the drunk guy. My dad gets just the right level of alcohol in his system, 6, 7, 8 beers, and picks up the phone and calls me. He don't remember nothing. I can tell him anything. The next day, he'd be like, well, I called you? I mean, he's just a freaking idiot, man. My own dad. Just an absolutely sloppy moron. And I have 2 or 3 friends that are like that. And they would call me. I finally got to the point where I'm like, dude, stop calling me when you're drunk. Don't call me when you're drunk. When you want to call me when you're sober, I'm happy to talk to you when you're sober. I love you. You're my boy. But when you call me when you're drunk, we'll have a 45-minute conversation. You won't remember a word that I've said because you're drunk. Tomorrow, when you wake up, you won't even remember you had a call with me. So what is the point of me sitting there talking to you for 45 minutes when you don't remember nothing I'm saying or value what I'm saying or have any... Forget it. Call me when you're sober, and we'll talk. And most of them homeboys, they don't call no more. That's it. They stop calling me, which is fine. But I'm just saying, like, if you can't call me when you're sober, then don't call me at all. I don't want to hear your drunken babbling. So my one friend, this dates back to high school. Good dude. Albanian. Really good Albanian guy. He ain't afraid to fight. He ain't really a tough guy per se, but he'd fight, you know what I'm saying? I remember one time his family knows John A. Light's people. I don't think he knows John A. Light. I don't think he's ever met John A. Light, but I have, but I don't think he has. But anyways, his family is cool, John A. Light and their crew. So the Albanians are that's the thing about Albanians. They're a lot like Sicilians in the regard that their community is very tight knit. Everybody knows everybody. Everybody's an uncle. Everybody's a cousin. Everybody's a friend of the family. And I think that's something that the average person, the average like Anglo-waspy American has no clue. They just can't wrap their mind around it. They never will. That when you're from a tight community, ethnic community, that's very small. Everybody speaks the same language. Everybody eats the same food. They don't trust anybody outside of the community, really. So they shop within. Everybody who owns businesses it could be dentists and doctors and, markets or restaurants or gas station. They only shop and go with their own community. Their parties, it's all their own community. Their church, they have their own church, it's their own community. They all are very tight knit, and that's how it was with me growing up. In my family in Grosse Pointe, where I'm from, there was a very tight-knit community of Sicilians. I can't even really put a number on how many. I would say that there's probably several hundred, But I'd say like the really tight community, like the mafia mobbed up ones, there was probably 30, 40, 50, probably more than that, 100. But they were all just, it was like this little secret society of people who all worked amongst themselves, talked amongst themselves, partied amongst themselves, everything amongst themselves. They didn't even speak, the native language, the English. They spoke Sicilian almost exclusively, especially around each other. And that's kind of how this friend of mine, I almost said his name, Albanian is. So when we were in high school, this dude, he was a good-looking guy. He's a football player, good-looking guy. I'm gonna give you a simp story here. And he was a little bit on the skinny side, but he was ripped up. Regular head and big chest, and he was cut up. He looked good, He was definitely like one of the best looking guys at that high school, which I didn't go to. I got expelled from the high school, but all my boys went there, including him. And he was definitely known as one of the best looking guys. And so he actually ended up dating the best looking girl, like the hottest girl in the school. And she was a total kind of bitch who pimped this mother effer, man, who would pimp this dude and just get him to do anything. And he couldn't do nothing. He couldn't like hang out with his boys. He couldn't do this. He had to pick her up and drive her there and buy her this and buy her that. And she just led this mother effer around by his dick. And I remember thinking to myself, damn, dude, you're a good looking dude, man. You like what the frick is wrong? And he was kind of gangster. Like he was part of my crew, one of my crew. Like he wasn't like gangster, but he thought he was. He loved freaking gangster rap and stuff. And remember him telling me one time, he's like, I listen to Ghetto Boys when I'm high, and I think I'm a gangster. But he'd fight. I remember he went to New York one time to visit his family in New York, and he came back and his front tooth was missing. I said, "What happened?" He's like, "I got in a fight." I'm like, well, "What happened?" He's like, "I don't remember." He's like, "I just remember like charging into this fight. And next thing I know, I woke up and missing my tooth." I was like, I mean, sometimes it goes like that, But anyways, this chick, man, she would dominate this mother effer, man, just dominate him. And I'm just like, and I wasn't like the best looking dude at the time in high school. I was decent. I was a solid 7, maybe 7.5, but I had a little bit of game, and I was kind of funny and witty, and I was a tough guy for sure. I was definitely one of the toughest guys in the neighborhood. Like me and Gino were probably the two toughest guys around, and that I think raised my stock up a little bit because some girls like that, But I, physically, I had a great body. I was in really good shape. I was doing some bodybuilding shows and stuff. So, but face-wise, I was like, maybe 7, 8. Had a bit of an overbite. I know where I stand physically, But I would make up for where I stood with this, with two things. Just A, charm. Be funny, be witty, charming, make them laugh, and B, the dick. So if you know what you're doing with a dick, you can really make a big difference. I'm just saying. Most of these guys today, they have no idea. They get on, they hump away for 30 seconds, they blast one off, and they're like, "It was a good honey." She's like, "Yeah." As soon as you leave, she grabs her vibrator and finishes up, or she calls her boyfriend that's giving her the real D, and you're just paying her bills, and it's just how it is. But this chick, man, she was this really beautiful chick. She was blonde, which I never was really into blonde. But she was a blonde chick. She kind of reminded me like of Nicole Simpson, the one O.J. Simpson. I got actually a crazy story. I'm going to finish telling you the story there. So she ended up getting murdered by a black dude. And they dressed up. Well, I'll tell you in a minute. But I'll tell you now. They dressed up. So she ended up dating this black dude after my friend, right? After they broke up. She broke up with him. And he was kind of a singer. He had a song on the radio and stuff. It was actually a pretty good song. And she came to a party with this dude, and they were dressed as OJ and Nicole. This was right after the murder of right after OJ killed these people. They dressed up as OJ and Nicole. She looked like Nicole, and he didn't really look like OJ, but they dressed up together and came to this freaking party. Could not believe he ended up murdering her, by the way, and another girl. He killed her and another girl. Her and my girlfriend's best friend. These were like two of my girlfriend's best friends. One was my girlfriend's best friend that got murdered, and this chick, the bitchy one, was one of her best friends until my girlfriend thought I boned her, which I didn't, which my girlfriend thought I did, because that girl led my girl to believe that I did. She basically made my girlfriend believe that I had slept with her. And then they were still friends, and I was, like in the outs, for not long. But now I'll tell you a story of what happened in a minute. But I remember she used to. This is how you know you're dealing with a straight cut simp. And my boy, if you watch this, man, it's not personal, but this is how I saw it, man. This chick would get mad at this mother effer, right? In front of everybody at a party, and close fist pop him in the mouth. Like, just like, and he wasn't really an argumentative kind of douchebag kind of dude. Like, he wasn't causing much trouble with her, you know. I don't know what he did, but you see him arguing a little bit, right? And she'd be like, wham! And just bam, buck this mother effer right in the mouth. Bang! And she might do it a couple times. Bam, bam. And she was, you know, a little, like, probably 110-pound chick at about 5'5". And he'd stand there like a bitch and just be like, what the frick, man? And I go, man, I cannot believe that this simp ass mother effer is just like block it, bro, or at least push her away to something. She gave you a fat lip, chipped his tooth one time. I mean, so anyways, I'm watching her, and she was a hot chick, and I did kind of have a crush on her a little bit. Like, I wanted to bone her, but I wanted to bone her, and I think I could have, because she was coming on to me all the time when my girlfriend wasn't around. The problem is what I had was, I wasn't sure if she was coming on to me just to see if I would react, so she could run to my girlfriend and go, Alfred came on to me. As soon as I hit on it, flirted with him a little bit, boom, he's trying to get in my pants. Or a more likely scenario is she's like, yeah. You know, she invited me to her house one time after Pasco and her got in a fight. They got in a big fight on the phone. I get a call from Pasco. He's like, oh, man, he's crying on the phone. His name, I'll get that out. He's crying on the phone. I said, man, we got in a big fight, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, why? What happened? And I'm trying to listen, but it's late at night. It's like 12 o'clock at night. Well, I'm like, listen, dude, you're going to be fine. F that bitch. You'll be all right, blah, blah, blah. I hang up the phone. Boom, my phone rings. It's her. She says, come over. I want to talk to you. I'm like, what the frick kind of setup is this? I just got off the phone with him. So I jump in the car and I drive over there and I park down the block. And then she's like, come in the backyard. And I think she had a swing in the backyard. And she's like sitting there telling me this sob story about what happened with them. And she's basically trying to get me to come in the house and like stay the night. And I'm like, man, F that. Dude could just come over anytime. You guys just got in a big fight. He's my friend. I'm on that thing. I left, right? So that's what made everybody think I boned her, because somebody drove by and saw my car there and they're like, oh, Elle's over there banging her. It wasn't true. I never did. But anyways, fast forward to when I got caught cheating on my girlfriend, and she ended up in retaliation after, like, I cheated on her like 25 times. We were broken up for a couple of weeks. I actually had a different girlfriend named Donna Valvano, this girl who looked like Alyssa Milano, very beautiful girl. And my girlfriend, Ramona, ended up getting with my friend Eli, who was kind of a friend, but I didn't really trust him, a little fat Mexican kid. And anyways, I got it out of her that night, and she went running to her friend, this girl, the bitchy girl's house, and I chased her down. And this is right after I got out of jail, so I was 20 years old. My dad had just bought me this little Nissan Pulsar car. Like, I just got out of jail like 2 weeks ago, if that, week ago. It was a cool little car, a little fast, like kind of Nissan Fiero type of car. Real small, but it's quick, you know. And it looked good, too. It was black, it was cool. It wasn't my style. I got a good deal on it. My dad paid for it, so I ended up totaling it within 2 weeks, 3 weeks. I totaled it, demolished it. I blew a stop sign and just T-boned some truck and demolished it, and that was it. Got arrested. But anyways, when I'm chasing my girlfriend, I end up, like, I have a feeling I know where she went. She went to that girl's house. So I see them get in the car and they drive. So I chase after them in this car. And I'm like, yo, pull over. And they pull over, and I said, get out of the car. So my girlfriend Ramona gets out of the car, and this is exactly what I do. I go, now the other girl's out of the car too. She's kind of just watching. And I go walking over to her, and I freaking unzip my pants and pull my dick out. I said, you see that? I said, you're never getting that again, ever. And she broke down crying. This is like, crying. So it tells you a lot about the dick, you know what I'm saying? She broke down. It was probably more than, it was a more emotional thing, but I made it sound like it was all about the D. The girl, the bitchy girl, comes walking over, and she goes, yeah, leave her alone, you effing asshole. That's why nobody likes you. You're a freaking prick. Nobody likes you. And I see her balling up her fist. I see what she's doing. She thinks I'm the other guy, right? She like turns aside and says, that's why no one likes you. Nah, man, that's why you got no friends, mother. She's balling up her fist, and I see it coming. And dude, listen, no, there will be simp ass hater mother effers on here that will go, this didn't happen, or won't believe it happened. But dude, she threw a full on punch at my mouth, and I caught it like freaking Bruce Lee. She throws this punch, and I go, I'm literally, I'm looking her dead in the eye. I said, I mean, I knew it was coming. I was looking at her hand, and she throws it, and I just go, and I don't know how I caught it. Like I really was trying to kind of block it, go for her wrist or something, but I caught her fist perfectly. Just, I said, I'm not him. I said his name. I said, I'm not so-and-so. And I grab her face and go, and I just throw her, dude. Like I caught her fist. I said, man, I'm not him. And I flung this chick, man, this whole 110-pound chick, and she goes flying. She hits the grass. There's a wet grass because it was like late at night. And she hits that grass and slides like freaking 12 feet. Like legit slid backwards like 12 feet on the grass. That's all. Her head just snaps back and she hits the grass, bang. And she freaking, I said, yeah, mother effer, I ain't him. You're going to be hitting me in the mouth. She jumped straight up, got in the car, and was like, I'm out of here. Like, she never again. That same thing happened to me with another chick, too. My girlfriend, anyway, that night, my girlfriend, the cops pulled up right when that was happening. Right when I threw her, and I was like yelling at my girlfriend, the cops came pulling up. My car's parked in the road, idling, right in the middle of Greater Mac. The cops going, everything okay here? What's going on? We're here. There's domestic violence. And I looked at my girl. I'm like, nah, we're good. We just had a little argument. We're fine, right? And she's like, yeah, we're fine. He's like, yeah, you keep it moving. So we did, and that was that. But the other time, I'm thinking of another chick, too. This name is Christy. Very beautiful girl. Very beautiful. Another one who worked Simps. She ran through several of my boys. Shout out to Pat. He didn't simp with her. He kind of did, but he's like smashed her and like used her. But they're like Fat George and all these other mother effers were in love with their simping. Like they're going, she'd give them a little bit of punani, and they were just, I love you. I'll buy you anything. I'll take you anywhere. I'll do anything for you. I'll be your slave, simping mother effers. But one time she was all drunk, and I just left the wedding. My best friend Billy Ushers. If I can remember, I'll put a picture into this video right here of that night. There's a funny picture where his dad's like holding his fist up to my chin. His dad's like a captain of the police. Like, I don't know, he might have been the chief of the police in the town we're from, St. Clair Shores. And I'm at his daughter's wedding because his daughter was getting married, Kathy. And she said to her brother, you can bring a date, anyone you want. And so rather than bring a girl, my boy Billy, who's a G, said, come on, let's come with me. So I ended up driving there on my Ninja. And I got like a freaking, not a tuxedo or nothing, but I had a suit and tie on, black suit and tie on. And I pulled up, I think I had a black suit vest on because it's hot, it's summertime. A suit vest with a tie. And I go in there and I sit down at this table and start hammering drinks. And everybody at the table, they're cops. All these cops who know me. All these cops who friggin' know exactly who I am. They're from the neighborhood, man. Half of them have arrested me. And here I am, sitting at the table with them drinking. And I get some funny pictures of that night, man. That's the reason why my boy brought me, man. He was famous because he got kicked out of this private school because he got caught with some coke and a gun. And his dad's like the head cop, and he got caught with a gun and some coke, a bunch of coke. Like he was dime bagging it all up for these people going to a party, and he got caught with them. Somebody knocked him out. So he gets kicked out, and he has to go to like our high school. Like he's in the last 6 months of senior year there, and he's a freaking legend. He's a big, tall, super handsome dude. He ended up modeling for Calvin Klein for a couple years, made a bunch of money. He's a really good looking dude. It's my dog, right? And we became friends simply because he saw me beat some other effers' asses, and he's like, man, this guy ain't no joke. And he says, when I come home from college this summer, man, want to work out? I said, yeah, we became friends. I thought he was a legend. I literally saw this dude as a straight legend. He was like a myth. You'd see him drive by. He'd drive crazy as hell through the neighborhood in his little car because he could. No one's going to pull him over. His dad was a head cop. He'd blow a stop sign, speeding everywhere. And he was really good looking, too. So he's this tall, handsome, studly mother effer, right? And just, he could do anything he wanted in the city. And then all of a sudden, he like migrated towards me. And so we became boys. And then I think I was 20 years old when his sister got married. And we went to this wedding where it's all these freaking girls. I mean, all these cops. And I remember getting pictures. I don't know. Billy's probably got the pictures. But there's a bunch of pictures of me like sitting there with Long Island iced teas. I'm surrounded by cops. All these detectives. I mean, it's just nothing but cops in there, man. His dad's been a cop for 20 years at this place. And they were being cool about it. They weren't like, they're like, hey, how you doing, Lim Bloom? how old are you? I'm like 20. You got a table full of Long Island iced teas in front of you. You driving? I'm like, nah. Yeah. He's like, really? Just be careful. I'm like, oh, I'm good. So I get hammered on drinking Long Island iced teas. I do remember specifically that the bartender said, I don't have everything to make a Long Island iced tea, but I can make it like almost like a Long Island iced tea. I'm like, I didn't even know any drinks. I didn't know nothing. All I knew was I'm like, I heard of Long Island iced teas. I didn't know they were super strong, get you drunk as hell. So I must have drank like 5 of them. I'm dancing with the bride. I'm all drunk, freaking sweaty. Got my suit out, tie undone. At the end of the night, I said, Billy, listen, I said, let's go to my girlfriend's house. Her niece is staying at the house. Her niece is hot. Her niece is freaking a dime and a half, like literally an 11. So you're good. And she's slutty. So you're like, you should be able to get some. He's like, okay, I'm down. And I said, plus I just go see my girlfriend. I mean, I was to see my girlfriend. So I see you drive though, man, because I'm drunk as hell. And I don't want to get pulled over driving my freaking Ninja drunk, from your sister's wedding. I'm like, if you get pulled over, ain't nobody gonna do nothing, right? He's like, all right. I'm like, you ever driven a crotch rocket? He's like, yeah, like once. I'm like, you've driven a crotch rocket one time? He's like, yeah, how's it go? 1 down and 4 over to the side or something? I'm like, bro, and I'm drunk. I'm like, 1 down, 5 up, or 4 up, whatever it was, probably 5 up. And just, and so he starts driving. And the next thing I know, this freaking mother effer has got us doing about 100 down Jefferson. Thankfully, the Jefferson is like on one side is the Lake St. Clair, so it's big mansions, and the other side is just a few houses or occasional like business. So it's dead, at 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock in the morning. It's just like nothing there. It's pitch black and there's no cars, like 1 car every mile or something. So we're not in this. I'm going, slow down. I'm hanging on to him. We both got suits on. We look like idiots. You know what I'm saying? We got suits on and vests on, and the back of a freaking a lime green chartreuse Ninja, white, a green chartreuse green Ninja with a white lightning bolt down the side and white rims and white seat. It was cool looking. It was badass. It was all custom. But he's freaking flying, doing 100. I'm like, dude, this guy don't even know how to ride a bike. And at one point, he turns down Masonic, and he goes to turn Masonic, and he kind of cuts wide and gets close to the curb, and the front tire, I can't remember if the front or the back tire, hits some sand. And it's like, and it slides. Oh, we almost go down. I mean, it's crazy, man. We were only doing probably 20, but I mean, still. So we end up going to my girlfriend's house. I gotta pull it quietly, shut it off, and coast down the street. And that's what I do. Once we got like in the subdivision, I say, here, let me drive. So I get flying down her street about an 80, and then cut the key off and coast in silence. So it's just dead silence. And I roll up on her sidewalk, and I go to her window, tap, 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 tap. And she comes in the window and says, yo, come out. Grab Christy, come outside. Let's go for a walk. I'm just thinking about getting some freaking, some nookie. I'll go right in the freaking, like the doorway of the school. There's a school. That's where we went to the school. I'll take her right in the little doorway of the school there and handle my business. And I don't care. And Billy do the same with the girl. Anyway, so, kid stuff. That's what kids do. It is what it is. But I'm sure every kid did that. I mean, I like to think probably every kid did that. Maybe not. But so anyways, this chick freaking, she's drunk. She's drunk as hell already. I don't even know how she got drunk. But she's only like 17 years old, right? And she starts making fun of me and Billy for being dressed the way we are and driving this Ninja around. And I'm like, well, we just left a wedding, you freaking idiot. Oh, you're like 2 dumbasses on the back of a motorcycle, 2 dudes wearing suits. Yeah. And I'm like, what the frick are you talking about? Get away from me, you drunken idiot. Who are you talking to, you drunk? You ain't shit, mother effer, blah, 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 blah. And Billy's like, oh my God, I'm not trying to bang this drunken bitch. I mean, she was hot, but she was like, oh. So the chick ends up grabbing me and like grabbing my vest. And she ripped my vest off of me. And I get so freaking mad. I'm like, what the mother? And I grab her face. And I'm just like, and I fling her just like the other chick. She goes and goes flying. I'm like, she started to swing on me. She grabbed my thing, ripped it right off of me, and like punches at me. I was like, shoot, bitch, bang! And I just threw her. I'm not gonna punch her. And I just fling her. I threw her so hard with such power. It was just like the other girl. The look in her eye when she like hit the ground and slid back for like 20 feet. I guarantee in her mind, I know what was happening. I know what she felt. She's like, my sister, my first time I fought back against my sister beating me up, was the same look. She thought to herself, oh my God, like that mother effer has some power. You know what I'm saying? He just flung me 20 freaking feet like it was nothing. And imagine if he like punched me. And that's what they're thinking, just like the other girl did. And she got up and she like walked back to the house, and Billy, and I said, hey Billy, he's like, dude, I got a girlfriend that I'm seeing, or some girl over in Harper Woods. Can you drive me? And I'm like, I told my girlfriend, drive Billy freaking to his girlfriend. And she's like, I don't freaking drive Billy to Harper Woods at freaking 1 o'clock in the morning. I'm not driving him. So I say, Billy, here, take my bike, man. Don't kill yourself. I give him my ninja. Say, just go, man. And I was worried that but he called me the next morning. He's like, yeah, I'm good. I'm fine. I smash my ass. And I got here fine. I'll bring your bike back later or whatever. But anyways, freaking, the moral of the story is don't simp. So what's wrong with guys today? I see these girls, these interviews of like and they're all anti-Tate, Andrew Tate or whatever his name is, because the guy tells them how it is, man. Why are you hating on this guy? He's just telling you how it is. Real men act a certain way. These days, you know, a lot of men are groomed by single mothers, and they're kind of, they're processed and groomed to be effeminate and stuff. And because of that, there are these feminist women who take advantage of it, and they beast on men, and they take advantage of them. This is the same woman who like won't let their boyfriend go out, like talk to another girl, have Instagram, do anything, whatever. But they're on video getting interviewed talking about, yeah, I slept with 23 men last month. I'm like, do you realize how disgusting and damaged you are? No man's gonna watch you, man. When are they going to learn, these young girls, that? I'm going to give you a secret, young ladies. This is the secret to happiness and your success and health and wisdom in life. This is such a good secret. I can't believe more people don't talk about it. Stop posting pictures of yourself on Instagram and TikTok and Facebook or whatever, of your face. We know what you look like. Or your titties. We know what those look like. Or your ass. We know what they look like. Once in a while, if you're on a fitness kick and you're at the gym, you don't want to take a picture because you think you look great. Okay, cool. But every other day, in the right light, with the right angle, on the right cleavage shot, the right thing with the duck lips, you look insane. Stop it. Stop it. You look insane. It's cringe. Every normal man is cringing at that. Now, there are a lot of simps who will hit the like button, who will comment, hit a little heart, and the girls who do their stories, they really are after something. Because in the stories, a guy can comment and it's private. So you always get this fat, sloppy, stupid sucker who's probably living in a basement with his mother, broke bum, ain't changed his sheets in a year, stanks, goes, oh my God, you're so beautiful. I love you, beautiful, gorgeous. And the girl goes, yeah, thank you, sweetie. And she has to hear that 20 freaking times a day from these same lame simps that she's never going to date. She's never going to. Of course, these guys will try, like, maybe we can get together. Oh, I'm sorry, not my type. Oh, I got a boyfriend. I'm sorry, I'm busy, and blah, blah, blah. Or they work them for money. They'll be like, you know, OnlyFans type motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? Can you believe there are freaking women making millions of dollars from simp, lame ass mother effers who just give them their money to even talk to them? It's the craziest thing I've ever heard, man. The craziest thing. And they're making millions. This one chick made like $40 million. And like, don't even talk to me unless you're giving me freaking sending me money or sending me jewelry or sending me. And these simps like, okay. What the frick is wrong with you, man? These chicks are never going to, first of all, they're never going to date you. They're never going to sleep with you. And they never are going to have any respect for you. They're always going to see you as a simp. So they may make you believe that they're going to date you if you give them a bunch of money and that, you know, you guys are going to be together. Maybe you'll even go meet up with her, and maybe she gives you some. And you're like, oh my God. Here's $20,000. I have to pay off my loan or blah, blah, blah. You give it to her because you love her. You're simping. Dude, she's always going to be banging some dude like me on the side. Always. And some guy who doesn't treat her like that. Some guy who dogs her out, doesn't call her back, freaking calls her freaking skank as he is. So, and that's always going to be the case. And you can find Every freaking single chick out there, not every, but the secret I want to get back to is there's two things. One is, here's something that most women don't realize. Men have like virtually X-ray vision. They have been studying the woman's body and figure since they were 5, really. Every inch of it, their whole life. They just looked at every woman's body, up and down, diagnosed what it is going on in there, what's going on underneath. That's what all men do. It's natural. It's instinctual. It's something you can't get around. It just is what it is. It's second nature to 99% of men. I guess there are some effeminate men who don't do it, and also some homosexuals who don't do it. But the average normal man who just sees a woman and instinctually they don't even realize they're doing it. They look at a woman. She could be wearing a fluffy jacket and a sweatshirt with the sweatpants. Trust me when I tell you, he knows exactly what her body looks like underneath that. Because he's seen a million girls. He knows what they look like. A woman who's built like that, he knows exactly what she looks like under that. Whether he likes it or not is another thing, but he knows. So he knows no need to constantly be shoving your titties and ass in the faces of every single man you see, whether it's on Instagram or TikTok or whatever, or in reality in the street when you're walking by. You don't need to go grocery shopping with a push-up bra with your titties out, right? You don't need to, and I'll tell you why. Because a man's going to walk by and he's going to glance at you, and you could be wearing a sweatshirt, and he's going to know if you have a nice rack. He's going to know if you have a nice ass based on the shape of it. It doesn't matter what you're wearing. So it's a secret. They have X-ray vision. You don't need to show it. The other thing is, here's the real secret that could help all the women. The men that you're trying to date, that you really want to date, the good dudes, most of them are probably successful. Probably make anywhere from, $80,000 to several $100,000 or even millions a year. The guy who's actually, like I said, a good guy, who's honest, caring, considerate, respectful, hardworking, that guy doesn't necessarily even give a shit about your titties or your ass. Doesn't. He wants to know what's in here. He wants to know what the frick is going on in your brain and in your heart. That's it. So when you walk up to him and thrust your titties in his face, right away he goes, you're the only thing you're good for is sex, which will be 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 times, and then goodbye. I don't want nothing to do with you. You basically instantly tell the man, you're not for me. You're not a woman I would want to date or marry, so keep it moving. I might sleep with you on a whim, and pretend I like you and then bone you, but you're not. It's the woman who dresses down a little bit, covers herself up, and when she meets a man, whether it's online or whether it's in a dating app or whether it's in a grocery store, she plays down her beauty a little bit, because every man knows if the woman's beautiful, she don't need makeup, she don't need her hair done, she doesn't need titties out. She could be wearing a sweatshirt and some loose jeans and her hair up with no makeup. Trust me, the guy knows that chick with her hair down in a dress is gorgeous. I don't need to see, not every woman is gorgeous all the time. 99.9% of the women you see at FHM models and Playboy, they don't look like that all the time. They look like that after they have makeup and hair and dressing and all this stuff. And then, they wake up in the morning and their hair's a mess, their makeup's off, they look normal. I mean, they're still beautiful. A man could see. But what is this? What the woman says first out of her mind is what makes a man attracted. What do you do? Like the first question out of my mouth would be, I meet a girl I find attractive if I was single. You know what I mean? I'm like, I might bump into a girl, excuse me, I see you don't have a wedding ring, are you single? She's like, no, I don't want anything. Well, what do you do? That's the first thing I want to know. What do you do? Because that tells you a lot about a woman. If a woman says, well, I'm a waitress, well, it tells me that you're probably not that smart. You're probably not that ambitious. You're probably not that driven. Probably got a couple of kids that you had young. So these are things that are red flags for me. I personally am after a much smarter chick, probably one with no kids, but I can take kids if I have to, if she's smart enough, she's a doctor or something. But the chick says, no, I'm an engineer for such and such, some laboratory or some company or something. I'm like, damn, that sounds interesting. Like, tell me more. Like, what do you do? And just I said, man, listen, let's go out to dinner. Mind if I take you out to dinner? You can tell me more about that. You know what I'm saying? And then I might say, she might say, well, what do you do? And I'm like, well, I'd say I'm a writer. and that might pique her interest because it says, no, that's an interesting career. You know, it's an art. He's an artist. He's right brain. Maybe he's interesting, funny. But I'm going to try to say something funny and witty during the first initial conversation and try to win her over that way. But I'm not going to be flexing my bicep, and I'm not going to be staring at her titties. That's the other thing. You guys, man, stop that, dude. The girl's got titties. You look her in the eye. You want a girl to like you? You want a freaking hot chick to like you? Don't even look at her body. Watch how much she wants you to look at her titties and ass so bad that it drives her nuts if you just walk up and look her in the eye the whole time. Just sit there and talk to her like this. It'll drive her crazy. She'll be begging for your number. Like this guy, I need. Don't look at her titties. You simp ass mother effers are like this the whole time. Yeah. So what do you do? That my friend was the same way. The simping lame. He looked. Oh my god. Oh, she's had boobs. and don't let the girl be young. I mean, this dude would hit on a 15-year-old girl. Actually, he did in front of me, and I had to call him on it. 15-year-old. I said, dude, stop. What are you doing, man? And I said, how old are you? She's like 15. I go, dude, you sick. Oh, he goes, oh, she liked it. She likes it. I'm like, you know what she's going to do when she walks out of here tonight? She's going to call her boyfriend and say, there was some sick, old, bald, 50-year-old pervert hitting on me. They're going to laugh about it. And it's going to be you. They're laughing at you, you sick pervert. And he would do that. All these, wow, you girls are beautiful. They're girl at coffee shop. They're sitting there like reading a book. Wow, you girls are beautiful. I'm like, oh. Dude, they're like, they could be your granddaughter, you sick pervert. Leave them alone, man. And it's one thing if you like, I don't know where, I don't see any scenario where a 50-year-old man like me would be hitting on a 25-year-old. None. There is no scenario where a 50-year-old hitting on, because a 25-year-old doesn't even know what she wants in life. I mean, if she told me, yes, I got a master's degree and I'm a doctor and I own my own practice, I'd be like, all right, I can talk to you because you're clearly, got your shit together. But the 25-year-old goes, yeah, I graduated from school 2 years ago, haven't found a job, live with my parents, I'm saying, I'm living off men. I'm like, yeah, I'm good. I'm saying? Have a nice life. Anyways, so that's my simping video, man. Please, boys, stop kissing the ass of women like that. You look pathetic. You give men a bad name. You sound pathetic. Stop doing it. Man up. Be strong. Hold your head up. Be proud of what you are, a man. Don't let them beat you down. Don't let them demand you do this, that, and the other. Don't let them demand that you can't do this or can't say that or can't have this or can't go here or do this. Listen, be a freaking man. Don't kiss their ass. These chicks are, if they are demanding your money and everything you want, say goodbye. Because I'm going to tell you something. A good woman won't care about anything but you. That's all she wants is you, your time. She don't care about your money. She's got her own. She works. She don't care about your house. She's got her own. She's got, she's built her own house, bought her own house. All she wants is to spend time with you. And then why would she want to spend time with you? Let me give you the answer to that. Because you're funny, because you're witty, because you're charming, because you make her feel good. How do you make her feel good? Figure that one out. If you can do that, you don't need to give them money. You don't need to give them anything. I never did. For years and years and years, I pretended to be a broke bum. And my friends would go, do you bang that freaking hot chick? I'd be like, yeah. Like I don't get it. How'd you do it? You told her you're a broke bum. I'm like, yeah, because she don't care. She don't care that I'm a broke bum. I'm a broke bum who's got a goal, a dream. I used to tell chicks I'm going to make movies someday. Someday you're going to watch my movies. Because I told her I'm a writer. Someday I'm going to make movies. So they're like, well, at least he's got dreams, big dreams and goals. So he might not have any money now, but he's got goals and dreams. I would never kiss the ass of these women. And I'm not saying that there isn't room for a mutual agreement between a man and woman, and respect, of course, always mutual respect. But to the man who is constantly simping, texting constantly, needs to know where she is constantly, and when she says, I need you to pay my rent or my bills or my car note every month, and you're not even getting any, you're a simp, man. You're a lame, and what's going to happen is she's going to work you every single time until she can't no more. And the only reason she'll stop, because she can't some more, is because she's going to find a man who's going to be so demanding of her attention and time. He won't allow her to pimp you anymore. She'll be pimping you for months because you're a simp. That's what you do. But as soon as she meets like Joe D with the freaking hammer, he's like, yo, enough of this pimping this freaking punk, man. He's a freaking punk. She's like, I don't even sleep with him, though. He just pays my bills. I don't even care. You got to cut him off. Either cut him off or I'm cutting you off. And she's like, okay, I'm cutting him off. Cut him off. That'll be the end of it. Do you know how many simps die that death in a day in this world? Where a real dude steps in, drops the hammer, says, no, I'm done freaking, you're done with these simps. And the simp is heartbroken, and he goes through trauma, and he's going to tell everybody he's depressed, and he's got to go to the doctor now because he's depressed, and Mommy, I'm depressed. Can you make me a sandwich? I got to move back in with my mom because I'm broke because I paid, instead of paying my bills, I paid her bills for the last 9 months, and I bought her a new car, and I bought her this and that and that. I'm like, what is wrong with these people, man? I'm watching these shows, these reaction series, and I'm just like, man, one after another, it's like a story about these simp suckers, man. I'm like, wow. I'm just saying. So if you're a simp, make your New Year's resolution be stop simping. Be a man. Be strong in your manhood. Be fair and equal to your spouse or your girl you're dating or whatever. Just don't let her dictate your life and then you be a punk about it. Because I'm telling you right now, if you think she's your girlfriend while she's leading you around by your dick, she's not. She's either on the prowl for some real D or she's already getting it from somebody else. 100%, and it ain't you. You're just there to pay the bills. You're there for affirmation, to say you're pretty, you're beautiful, I love you. And she needs a sucker on the side. She probably has multiple suckers, multiple simp suckers on the side that make her feel valued and worth and pay her bills, blah, blah, blah. You're one, don't be one of them. Now there's a guy on the other side who just smashes her and leaves. Who would you rather be? First of all, I wouldn't want to be either one of them. I would want to be the guy who's got the one woman who's beautiful and smart, funny, kind, charming, with she's all mine, and she shuts everything off in the outside world, be it social media, everything else, and puts her full attention on me. And I do the same for her. And that's what I do with my wife today, me and my wife. That's how we are today. That's our, I didn't say it's perfect relationship, but it's perfect for us. But ultimately, I feel like that is the goal of every man, is to find one woman who loves them enough to shut off the entire world and focus their attention solely on him. And the man loves her enough to do the same and focus his sole attention on her. And together they can enjoy life. But there's never a side simping. There's never a side, I need affirmation from a guy here or I need sex from a girl over there. You don't need that. You're never going to find this type of relationship if you're out there simping with these tricking ass hoes. I mean, I'm watching these videos and these girls are laughing about, sleeping with 30 men in a month. Dude, 30 men in a month? They think it's funny. They're feminists now. They're equal to men. They can do whatever they want. You realize by admitting that on camera, it's there forever for your kids and everyone else to see. And no man's going to want you. No man's ever going to say, oh, yeah, this is marriage material. Here's the girl that I want to marry. The chick who said on the internet she slept with 30 men in a month and laughed about it. No, you're damaged. It's over for you. And when your beauty fades, when you're 30, 40 years old, you got nothing left. You might be able to simp sucker one of these freaking lames for a while, but you're not going to have a real relationship. You're not going to have a real marriage or family or home. It's just going to be you and a simp on the side. And you're going to be still looking for Mr. Perfect, running through dumb simps. Anyways, that's my show for today. Just wanted to make a video. It's an hour-long rant about simping. I've watched so many of them videos that I started to get angry about it. I'm just like, what the hell's wrong with these kids today, and these men and the women too? I just figured I'm gonna make a show about it and ramble about it. So I'm gonna go back to work. I got a ton of emails. I got like 100 emails today. I gotta answer, but Then it's back to the bottle. I'm just kidding. This bottle's been there for weeks because I did a drinking show called Drinking with Authors, and I had some brown sugar bourbon. It's tasty. I'm getting ready to go work out, so I'm finish my coffee, and I'm out. Everyone, God bless. Stay tuned. Happy New Year, and I hope that if you listen to this entire video and you take heed to it, your New Year's resolution is to not simp, not be a sucker, not be a lame. Be strong in your manhood, and women, that you can be. I guess I don't really. I can't speak for women. I don't know what women are like today. I don't. I don't date them. I don't never dated any of them. I haven't been on a date in freaking 30 years or whatever it is, 20 some years. I just know my wife and I love her. But I will say this: if you want a good man, being promiscuous is not going to be the way to his heart. All right. Value yourself, cherish yourself, save it for him, the right guy. Stop uncovering your everything and shoving it in everybody's face because you don't need to. It's not necessary. We do know exactly what you look like under your clothes. Exactly. Men are, like I said, we've been at this for freaking our entire lives. So it doesn't matter what you're wearing. We know exactly what your figure looks like. So there's no need to force us to look at it in the raw. You think that you want to show it to all these men because they need to see it because you're beautiful or you got a great body. It's not necessary. It just makes you look desperate. It makes you look desperate and slutty. And you don't need to. Cover it up. Save it for him. That way, when you're alone with him and you unzip and you come out of it, he's going to be like, wow. Instead, he's, with the way you are today, he's looking, I see this every freaking day. I go to Instagram, I go to TikTok, I see a million girls look just like you. So what? No big freaking deal. No one's impressed. Just saying. God bless. I'm out.